this actually is my own car. So it's not really my daily driver because my wife drives this car, and she actually is the one who picked this car, because for me, I actually wanted the Pacifica. So because the Pacifica, I feel, had just more going for it. It was a newer car, and not a newer car, but it was just usually I don't like cars in their first. I don't like the first edition of a new generation compared to the Pacifica. The 2018 it would have been the second year of the new generation. But the reason why we picked it, because when we went to the Odyssey, I actually didn't like it, and I wanted to go back to the to the Chrysler dealership, but the dealer for the Honda actually yelled at, called my wife over and said that you're going to be stranded on the side of the road, because he was referring to the Pacificas having a tendency to stall out, and then drivers being stranded on the side of the road. And he said she's going to be stranded on the side of the road, and yeah, and calling me for help. And from that point on, that was it. At first view, I would say it's a car you have to kind of get used to, especially this part. So if you look at this side, this sloping side, so so something you have to get used to. It seems like it's hanging off. I mean, the first time I seen it, it seems like it was a part that was kind of, because it comes that way and it kind of slopes off. So it seems like it's hanging off, and yeah, something you have to get used to. The front end, the big H. I mean, I'm not sure. Okay, it's okay. One thing I gotta say, it's done better on the Odyssey than on the Honda Accord. On the Honda Accord, this chrome part, it doesn't look as good as it does on the Odyssey. You have the little wedge at the bottom, so the little wedge, and then yeah, so I guess the wedge is disposed to, and then you got still the other wedge right there. So I think it's supposed to be kind of like a samurai sword, so I assume that's why they have that. So it's supposed to kind of look like a samurai sword. When I was in college, I was working at a pretty busy resort as a valet attendant, and by far the most unreliable cars were Chrysler cars, and it was a Chrysler Town and Country, so you can understand why they even changed the name to Pacifica. But when I saw the Pacifica at the dealership, it was just a car, it was just a sultry car. I mean, a car's, it was just very desirable. That car pretty much said to you, take me. Because it's a 2018, it's missing some of the stuff in the first generation of the first year of the generation, so it's missing some of the stuff that other cars that came the 2019, the 2020, and have. So it's missing a few things. Before I got the minivan, I sat down and laid out the features that I wanted, and I knew the features I wanted in the Odyssey, the features I wanted in the Pacifica. So the Pacifica, the model I would have picked was a Touring L Plus. So I think that kind of compares to the EXL Nav Res. So now let's get in. Oh. So this is the interior. This is a cream color. It's a pretty nice car, nicely laid out, and as you can see, well, I have two car seats in the back, and okay, so looking at the car. So one thing I like about it, let me start it. So my foot on the pedal, this lights up. So now it's dark, but once I it's flashing. So when I put my foot on the pedal, then it stays on, and then I push it, then it turns on. And right now, as you can see, well, the door's open, so let me close the door. So, well, that sound you heard is my camera system. So that's one thing I've installed. So right now, it says tire pressure monitor sensor. I don't have my seatbelt on, so let me cancel that. So tire pressure monitor system. So that's one thing that pushed me to make a review of this car, because of the problem that start to go on. I start to see little problems. Maybe there might not be no big issue in the long run, but these little problems I'm starting to see. So like tire pressure monitor sensor. So this is one thing that's sort of I think it should be fixed under warranty, because the car has full warranty still. So I think it should be fixed under warranty. So let me cancel that out. And as you can see, so right now, Yeah, so it has 32,000 miles. And okay, so a few of the problems that the car has had are I've had to fix the rear. Okay, so once I get to it, I'll explain. So pretty much I haven't done nothing to this car. So this car is pretty much stock. So one thing I did do, I added a covering to the navigation system. So this is actually a plate. So this is actually a little protector screen covering. So I've added that to it. It's kind of covers the volume, the audio, where it says audio right here. So but that's the only thing. So this thing is on Amazon, and I'll put a link down to it. I think it's nice. So it's a good protector, but you can see the big bubble right here. But once you use it, you don't feel you have anything covering the navigation screen because it's so natural. There's nothing, there's no lag whatsoever, you know. So there's no lag whatsoever. So, and also you can boost up the sensitivity. So but right now the sensitivity is normal. I didn't change it from the way it came, so it's normal. But you can make it higher if you have gloves on, so it could be a lot more sensitive. So one thing with this car is that the thing works pretty well. It works, it's based off an Android system, and it works pretty well. It's pretty snappy. It's only 2 menu screens because I've removed the icons I don't think I need on a daily basis. So that's why it's only 2. But if I push all apps, so you know, so the ones I checked are the ones I see. But it has a lot more stuff going on. So yeah, you have the voice control here. So when you connect your phone, to use the voice control, when you connect your phone and you hold the voice control, it uses your phone's your voices. If you have Android, it will use Google Assistant. If you have iPhone, it will use Siri. So when you hold it, but to use Hondas, you have to. Right now, if I hold it, because no phone is connected, I'm actually using my phone to make this video. So no phone is connected, so it's not going to work. So now I'm holding the thing, so nothing is connected. So but a lot of people don't know how to get to the Honda's voice system. So to get to Honda, you actually don't hold the button, you have to just press it once. So right now I'm just going to press it once, and this is the Honda system. But the Honda system is not intuitive. You can't just speak. So right now it's listening, but because I'm talking, it's not going to pick up what I'm saying. So pretty much like this is a Honda system. You have to learn how to use it, especially if you want to use it while on the go, going somewhere. So this is something you have to spend time with to learn how to use. I've spent time with it and I play with it. I've been able to get it to take me some places.
You can use your voice to control phone, radio, media, and navigation in your car. Now you'll hear an overview of the commands for each app.
I'm going to cancel it and then start over and try
pressing the voice button. Possible navigation.
Okay, so right now I've canceled it. So but right now let's try to use it and see. So let's try to use it for real, because it's a system you have to try to learn. So now let's press the button. Navigation.
Say a navigation command.
Find place.
Say a place.
Red Lobster.
Searching for Red Lobster. Select an item. Red Lobster. Would you like to start navigation?
Go. Okay, so I guess you find the place. This is how you use the Honda's navigation system. I think this is best used when you can see, you know, the address where you're going, and then you could just plug it in, and that's it. The only thing is that you cannot plug in an address while you're driving. I mean, yeah, which is understandable. But if you plug in your phone unit, you can input an address while driving. Well, this has the 7-speaker system. It sounds pretty good, but I know you still won't be able to. You still won't be able to tell how good the speakers are, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good system. Okay, all right, enough of that. So and then what else? So yeah, and then this, I had to kind of get used to it, because when I first got it, I had to put my hand down here, and this doesn't have the cool seats, but has the heated seats. So but it's good because the EXL nav-res. It doesn't have the, so this button does where the auto start-stop button is, and I personally don't like that system, because that's one system that was crippling the Pacificas. So I'm glad this doesn't have it. And yeah, so this is where that button would have been. So the econ button, I think it's good in traffic. You know, if you're doing city traffic, I guess they made it more for the highway because it will save you gas mileage. But it was more irritating on the highway because it kind of cuts down the power of the engine, and I felt that it's kind of hard to merge and make quick lane changes, and yeah, so get through traffic. I mean, it's better to use it. I guess it's better if you're on cruise control on the highway, but I think I use it more for city driving. So, but on the highway, I just like to, you know, to go my way, and yeah. So, but it's good. It saves you gas. So I've had this car up to 30 miles per gallon or even more. Yeah, on highway driving. So yeah, so it could save you some gas mileage, except that it cuts down on power. And I don't know how much power cuts down, maybe 100 horsepower. That's what it feels like to me. The thing, all of a sudden, the car all of a sudden becomes a lot heavier. So you feel, that's the way it feels. But if you're not in a rush and you just want to put in cruise control, I think it works pretty good. And then you got the sport. So when you press this, so it goes in D, and then when you press the thing again, so now it shows S, and then you could use the paddle shifters. I tried it, but because of the 9-speed, it's something you have to get used to. Even though women are driving minivans, he said 90% of the buyers who come in are guys who are buying it for their wives. So they had to throw in something to appeal to men. So, and I guess that's why. So that's why, and I guess which is true because I watch a lot of car racing, Formula One, and this came from Formula One. I play with it, but it's not something I would use. You know, it has to be like on the deserted road for me to use it. So this one doesn't have the rear parking sensor. I guess that's what this button would have been, but it does have the collision avoidance and lane departure, and this is the traction control. This is for the trunk, to open the trunk. So getting the first edition of a new generation, you are missing out on stuff that will come out in the latter version of that generation. So case in point, so right now a few things are missing. So right now, I think in the 2019 model, so now here you see the DVD. So that's where you insert the DVD. I have actually never used it since I bought it. I don't even know if it works. So other models, I think the 2019, 2020 have actually a coin tray right here, and the Pacifica had that. So Pacifica has a coin tray, and every single car I've had, I've almost made sure that it has a coin tray. So in the 2018 or 2020, there's a coin tray right here, but here it's blank, so there's nothing you cannot do. It's just there, but they have it, and this becomes a coin tray. You could pull out, put your coins in, and that's it. Here is the data port. So this is actually the data port. So when I close it, so this is the data port, as you can see, and this is it has actually have an aux cable, but I don't know when's the last time I used a. I can't remember the last time I used an aux cable. So this is for aux cable. I can't remember the last time I used it, but it's there. So, and then I guess the newer cars, they actually have two connectors here, but this is the 2018, so you know it only has the data cable. So if you want to charge your phone, you actually have to if you just want to charge your phone, you don't want to connect to the navigation system, you actually have to use this thing right here, this one here. So this is the 12 volt, or plug your phone in right here. So but the newer vehicle, the 2019, 2020, they actually have one you could just charge your phone, and but you know, instead of just the one here, but they have two of them. So one to connect to the navigation system, and then another one to just charge your phone. So but when you charge your phone, or let's say even when you connect when you connect it to the navigation system, you cannot close this all the way, because if you want to leave your phone here just so you can look at it, you can't do that here, because it will, you know, you will close on the cable. So this is the cable, the data cable or the charging cable. So so if I plug it in, and then I cannot close this, you know. But in the newer versions, they actually have made a little slot, and this is an oversight, because I have older cars that have that, you know, they make sure they leave a little slit there so the car can hang out. So I think this is an oversight. So usually when I connect my phone, I just leave the whole thing inside, you know. So I just leave the whole thing inside and close it, because usually my phone is connected to the navigation system. So yeah, so that way I could just use my phone from the navigation. It's not connected right now, so Apple CarPlay, usually that's what I use. So when I do that, I just close it. And then so they have two cup holders, There's a passenger side, so this is the mask. So that's a cup holder. I'm not sure if this is meant to be a cup holder or not. I never usually use it for a cup holder. So that's a cup holder. Plenty of storage. So driver's side, that's a cup holder. Yeah, that's just so that's a cup holder, and then yeah. So and then usually you have that little storage lot right here. So this is actually where I leave the thing. So this is actually where we leave the. You take the headphones for the entertainment system, and then so leave that there. And then the only thing, so one thing I've added to the car, because I do a lot of road trips, so so we have a little camera. One feature which I was a little mad about with this car is the 12-volt port. So this is another 12 volt. So this is another 12-volt ports. So to use them to charge your phone, you need a thing. So you need a 12-volt adapter. So, but this is for the camera. But you need a 12-volt adapter to charge your phones because you can't just use a USB port. You need a 12-volt adapter. It's good and bad. So it's bad because you cannot use just a USB port for your iPhone or your Android phone because you need an adapter. But it's good because it lets you use something. So if you have an adapter, let's say a 5 amp adapter, a 10 amp adapter, it can actually charge your phone faster compared to if you're just using the USB adapter, your phone the charging speed will be limited to whatever amps that they give you. In this car is 2.5 amps. So I think the Honda, the Toyota Sienna is 2.1 amps. Some cars could be lower, some cars could be higher. So, but if you want a higher charging rate, so you could have a faster 12-volt adapter, and then you could charge your phone faster. So this is the glove box. I don't think there's enough space there. It's not, at least not for me. I don't think it's enough space for me. So I think it should be bigger. This is the sunroof. So now this is the sunroof. So this is one thing I missed from having test driven the Pacifica, so the panoramic sunroof. So it makes a big difference, especially for kids. So I had test drove it with my kids, and then they were expecting that. I mean, they would just marvel by the sunroof, especially it's a cloudy day. I mean, if you have a nice shiny day with a little bit of clouds, so they keep looking at clouds, or if you're driving the cityscape and they can see the skyscraper through the sunroof, so it makes a big difference. So I mean, yeah, this is actually almost like after driving that and then buying this one, this is like like, what is this? Yeah, it's small, it's regular. The rear view mirror, well, the backseat mirror, and you can also leave your shades in there. But in the Pacifica they have separate. So so they have one thing for you to view the back, and then another one so you can put your shades in. The sunroof, so you can open it all the way. I mean, but it's just, I don't know, it's uninspiring after driving the Pacifica. In a regular car it will be good, but in a big van such as this, it's kind of dark, because having just that whole, and it's thin in the back, so it kind of makes it dark just having just this little part opening up. Okay, so right now we're ready to go to the back seat, so I'm just going to go to the back seat right now. So before I go to the back, so one of the recall, it has to do with these on both sides. So I just got the recall notice about, I think just this week actually. It says that water can get inside these, water can get inside the door handles, and then it will make it not close properly. So the recalls are what made me make this video, because I'm revisiting it, and I think I just want to talk about it. So that's it. So especially that all the reviews about the reliability about Honda, so that's about this being the #1 minivan. So I expected quite a lot more. I've only bought my American car, so this is my other car. This is 2011 Milan. So, and this thing is flawless. So I mean, and that's an American car. So this thing is went flawlessly, and I've had it, and now I have this. So but this, so all the recalls I'm getting has me worried, like, whoa, what's going on here? Maybe it has a lot more technology, that's why. So water can get inside these, and then it will make the door not close properly, and the door could open as you drive. So that's what the recall says. And then the other recall has to do with the rear view camera. So this camera right here, so it says that water can get inside of it, and then it will not show you any pictures, or it might get foggy. So this thing. So okay, let's go to the back. So that's the automatic. So well, as you see, I have 2 car seats mounted, and then the middle seat is actually taken out. So the middle seat is actually taken out because I don't think, okay, let me go to the other side because I want to pull the, okay, so store. Okay, so the middle seat is actually taken out, and because that enables the magic slide. All right, so one thing I like about this car is that, okay, if you're going to be using this for car seats, I think this is the best option compared to the Pacifica. You actually have to tilt. So the kid is, if your kid is sitting inside, so you have to tilt the whole seat forward. So they might not be happy, especially if they're older, you know. So you know they'll be tugging their body. The whole body will be tugging onto the straps. So they might, you know, you don't want to do that to your kid, right? So hanging by the straps. So yeah, so that's one thing, people could getting in and out to go to the back or like this. So I think that's what makes this car, that's one good value. If you're not transporting full capacity, if you don't need 8 people in the car, like 3 in this row and 3 in the back and 2 in the front, I think you are better off having the middle seat out. And the middle seat actually in the garage, and because there's no way to store it in the car. So that way the kids could go back. And right now the way I have it, I leave it like this, and then on my road trips where actually we are the rest stop, you know, I actually let the kids out of their car seat, and then they just go play in the back, you know. So they just go to the back, and then sometimes we have their toy just sprawled out in the back. They just play there. You got a map pockets. People don't use maps anymore, but you got map pockets, and you got a pocket here. This is supposed to hold the remote for the rear entertainment system. So yeah, this yeah, it's not really an HD system. I don't know, it's not a 1080p. I don't even know if it's a 720p. I'm not sure what's the resolution. It looks like a 480. It's pretty good for kids, you know, but yeah, I mean, especially be on the road. But I think the newer ones are actually HD. This one comes with PBS cartoons. So with this car, I don't have the AT&T Wi-Fi car connection, so I just use my phone, the Wi-Fi from my phone, and then I have access to everything, all the cartoons on PBS. So that's where we use it. And sometimes I actually connect it to the, sometimes I actually use the HDMI. So this is the HDMI port. So I don't have it right now because I only take it out off the TV when I travel instead of buying another HDMI port. So pretty much I connect to my phone, so the HDMI goes through here. So this is for the iPhone, as you see. So you see the wire connector, and then the HDMI goes in here. So the thing is about $50 on Amazon. Yeah. So and then but yeah, it's worth it. It's expensive. It's a little thing. I barely use it, but when you use it, yeah, it's worth it to keep the kids quiet. So and then okay, so you got 2 cup holders right there. There's a cup holder in the door, so this is a cup holder. Actually, on this side, this is also a cup holder. So, but the kids, you know, so if you had the middle seat, there will be 3 cup holders in the middle there, but we don't have that now. And then we have this thing right here, so for the sunshade. Yeah, so that's yeah, so that's that for the kids. And these are actually the for the remote control and the wireless headsets. So that's what so that's what that's for, the remote control and the wireless headsets. So that's why it gives a connection to those things. Right now I don't need middle seat, I only need 4 seats total. So you kind of have to predict where you're going, you know, so you have to kind of predict where you're going to set up your configuration. Without the car seat, these seats are very comfortable. So these are very comfortable seats. So I've sat in them without the car seats, and they are very comfortable. So, and they're a lot more comfortable than the ones in Pacifica, no question about that. That's why they're bigger, and the Pacificas are smaller because they have to go on the floor. So, but they remove some padding. So with these, you can get stuff in here. So you have to be careful what you give your kids. So you need a crevice tool. So when you vacuum your car, you need a crevice tool to actually kind of vacuum inside from time to time, especially you know, whatever you give them. But I mean, it's hard for things to like to get in, as you see. So it has to be a very tiny thing. So but make sure you vacuum inside from time to time. So I wouldn't want to have gummy bears stuck in there and grind up by the tracks, by the seat. So but this is nice. This is a very nifty. So but I think with the Pacifica you can actually make a lot more seat configurations. This is actually supposed to be a Honda factory item. So as you see, this thing is sliding freely. So one thing I don't like, it's a factory item, but I don't think they put enough thought into it, because the thing slide around very easily, as you see. So whenever you are, let's say you bought a TV, you want to load in. So when you are loading item or a suitcase, this thing will slide. See, so I'm just sliding. So there's nothing to hook it up. I thought about putting some Velcro, but it's not. This is not really sticking. Maybe I could stick it right here just to see. So if you think of buying this thing, it covers the floor, but it's not sliding. So to load something, you actually have to set it. You cannot slide it around. But even then, when there's something heavy on it, it moves. You know, the thing, when you brake, the thing slides forward. Oftentimes, I find it like this, and then I have to readjust it. But I bought it because this has an opening for the air vent. So this is an air vent under the back seat. So that's why I bought it. But I think I could have bought something else and just cut that out to make room for the air vent. The first recall I got was for this power outlet. So this is this power outlet. The core was pinched somehow by the frame of the car, and it could have caught fire. So they fixed it on the warranty. So and now we have another recall for the door handles. And then in here we have so because this is a capless fuel system, so you need this to fill up your car. I mean, in case you run out of fuel, so you have to shove this into the fuel port, and then before you can fuel it up. So that stays there. And then I got this. This came from my old car, but that's just in case, because they give you just a little thing to change your tire. I don't think I will have to change it, but just in case, so I had to keep this around. Oops, let me throw this in front. All right, so I'm going to move this and go in the back seat. Okay, so this is the back seat. So it goes in. So let me open it up. So when I open it up, so pretty much that's I could do it with one hand, and then that's it, and just lift this, and that's it. And this one too. And then when I lift it, and that's it. So now the back seat is up. So this is plenty of room. So there's a lot of room here. So this thing is, that's one thing. So this has a lot of room. So but usually I almost have never used this, because I only need 4 people. So this has been down for a long time. I don't remember last time I used these seats. So unless you need full capacity, I think it's best to just take out that middle seat and just put these down, and that's it. You have plenty of room. This is a power tailgate. So people have said that this is the first edition. So people have said that it does not stop when you're standing under it, but I think it does. So let me see. I'm going to put it down, and then when I put my hand there, okay, but you need pretty strong force, so it has to hit something pretty hard. So as you did, I made it go back up, but you have to pretty much, it has to hit something. It doesn't just, you can't just nudge it and it will go back up. It has to exert some force on it to go back up. So let's say if I do it, and then if I try to, okay, so now it's going back up, as you see. So it does go back up. I don't know, but some reviewers have said that it doesn't go back up, that it will close regardless. So yeah, so it went back up. I don't know, maybe they updated the software on it or not, maybe after those reviewers made their review. So okay, so now let's go to the back. Okay, so to go to the back, because I have car seats there, I cannot just, so okay, so, and then when you sit in the back, it's pretty comfortable, I gotta say. So it's pretty comfortable. It looks very cavernous. This is a nice design compared to what you will find in the Pacifica. So in the Pacifica, you will see the wires of the headrests, but here you don't. It looks so modern. So this is a really nice design. But when you lay on it, it's not actually comfortable. When you lay on this, it's not comfortable. So when I'm laying on it, it's not comfortable at all. So, but you know, but they made it this low just so the driver can see behind them if there's no one in the back. So that's why it's like this. So to actually use it, you actually have to raise it, and then you just raise it with one, grab, and then yeah, and then that's it. In the back here, they have the outlet port. So this is what I was talking about. So they have the 12-volt charging port. So to use it, you need the 12-volt adapter. So it's bad because you cannot just use your USB cord, but it's good because if you want a faster charging solution, you can have a more powerful 12-volt adapter. But most people don't carry around 12-volt adapters with them, so that's why I don't like these. So, but they have it on this side. So the person on this side either has to have a cord long enough to come here, or they have to put the cord in the back, in the trunk. So there's the charging port right there. So so it's not too far, but you still need about I think 3 feet. So right here. So you need it right here. So you need about 3 feet. A cord at least 4 feet, yeah, to be able to charge and sit here and use your phone. So, and this is for if so the people in the back, they don't have the headrests. So if these people are using headrests, so the people in the back cannot use them. They have to use their own headrests. So or just the volume. But one thing is that this car does not have the sunshade in the back. So this is the EXL with the navigation and rear entertainment system. So you don't have the sunshades here. The sunshades only come, I believe, in the Elite and maybe the Touring edition. So yeah, so there's no sunshades. I don't know if maybe they could install them as an aftermarket. Maybe that's why they left this little gap here. Maybe this pops out and then they could install them. I'm not sure. So yeah, so same here. But so far it's not an issue because I don't actually never use this back seat. All right, and cup holders, and vents. That works. It's really nice, and it's really nice. It's really nice. I mean, it's actually feels good, But I'm mostly driving on road trips, so actually I'm always driving on road trips. So I've actually, I don't know how it would be to sit here during a road trip. It seems like it would be nice. So these straps are, if there was no car seat, so I would pull it and then so the seat would flip forward and move forward. Right now, because the car seat is there, it won't do anything. So because it's assuming someone is sitting there. If you had to have people in the back, you cannot have 3 car seats across because they won't be able to get out. So right now I cannot get out because I'm kind of stuck here. I could use this little pathway, but if there was a pathway, the other seat was there, I would be stuck. So even though the middle seat can take a car seat and these two can take car seats, the middle seat can take car seats. So if you had to use the back row like I am sitting right now, you cannot put 3 car seats across because the people here, the person back here will be stuck. So here you could in the back row, you can only use car seats in 2. So you could use you could put a car seat here and a car seat here. So as you see these hooks, and you have this here. So but you cannot put the car seat in the middle. So so pretty much this car can take 5 car seats. But you cannot use 5 car seats. If you have to, the most car seats you can have in this car, I would say is 4. Because if you put 3 across here, the babies in the back here will be stuck. So yeah, so it'll be hard to move them, to take them out. Even though you have 5 hooks for babies, you can only have 4 car seats in this car. It's a nice car overall, except that the recalls have me a little fidgety, so that's why I'm making this video. I expected a lot more robustness. So this remote is pretty standard. So you have the panic button, you have the tailgate, and then the close. So I could close this door. So if I press it, so it's closing this door, and then the lock button, and then the unlock button. So and then yeah. So okay. So now if I lock it, I have to lock it first to remotely start it, and I press and hold this, and then it flashes, yeah, and then it starts. So yeah, as you see, it's flashing and it starts. So it will stay on for 10 minutes, or if you have low fuel, until if you have low fuel, I think it will just shut off if it's yeah, it will only stay on for 10 minutes. But if you have low fuel, it won't start at all. This thing has a big front end. So the big front end is a bug magnet when you're traveling. So as you see, I tried to clean it last night to make this video, but I still have, and car washes won't do it. All right, so car wash is quick and it won't do it. So if you want to take off the bug splatter, you pretty much have to do it on your own, unless you're willing to have a full detail, and that'll cost you some money. The touring and the lead come with 19 inches, but the 18s are plenty good. So I think this is the best tire for this car. So you can see online that a lot of people say that this thing does not work, and you go to the dealership, they have no answer for you. So, and I've seen that, and that happened to me, and I went to the dealership, they had no answer for me. And what I did is I was just playing around with it. Actually, I saw online, I can't remember where I seen it, but some guy said that you have to reset the whole thing. So you do a factory data reset, and then if I push it, so you do a factory data reset. I'm not going to do it because I have the settings just the way I want them. So when you do a factory data reset, then when you restart it, you have to, it will give you an option to update the system, and then that's what you do. So that's what you'll have to do. You'll have to update the system. So you have to connect it to your either your home's Wi-Fi system or your phone Wi-Fi system and update the system, and then that should work. I can see why minivans are actually falling out of favor. So I can definitely see why minivan actually, so they don't look sexy, they don't attract anything, but this is something for someone who's very confident with themselves. So if you are very confident, you don't need to brag to nobody, you know what you're doing. So this is a car for that type of person. You don't, there's no bragging, you don't need any more bragging rights, you have your own bragging rights. So this is that type of person. So when I drive this car, I feel I have all the features I need and everything I need. Even if I had picked the Pacifica, we are actually like better, but the Pacifica actually has some serious flaws. They say that on the passenger side there was a recall where the wheel could fall off. On the Pacifica, I mean, you can look it up. I will have it in the description. So there's a Pacifica. So first of all, the car could leave you stranded. So the car will slow down almost to a halt, and then you could be stranded on the side of the road. And then they fix it. I think even Motor Trend, there was a magazine, Motor Trend, when they were testing it, they said that their car would stall, and then they would have to shut up the car completely and turn it back on before it will move again. I think this is solid value. So if you want to save some money and get the EXL Nav Res version, so it's a solid value. Thank you for watching, and appreciate it. So thank you for watching. So please like and subscribe.